Okay, we're back, and again, this is the first day of our fall share-a-thon, and thank you for those of you who have been calling and even going online at theDove.us. By the way, the website is totally secure, and it's very simple to use. And some of you now have been calling in from outside the immediate area. You can do that toll-free, 1-800-373-5368. And then, of course, the local number is 776-5368. Our goal is $99,200. We're down to $90,310 on this first day, so we're doing pretty good. We'd love to hear from you. I only ask two things when you support the Dove, that the Lord is clearly leading you to do that, and two, it's a joy for you to do that. Don't take from your church or any other ministry that the Lord has you involved in, but if the Dove is ministering to you and you want it to continue to be there and minister to thousands of others who have come to rely on it day in and day out, would you pray about it and give us a call? You can be on and off the phone in just a few moments, 776-5368. Well, throughout the morning, you've been hearing us partner with various ministries like the Rogue Valley Pregnancy Center and, of course, the Rogue Valley Youth for Christ. We just had Johnny Erickson Tata on with us, who is touching the world with her ministry. And another gentleman that I've come to love and appreciate and known him for many, many years. And he literally is shaking the world. He puts out a journal that you need to get a hold of, and I'll tell you how you can do that coming up in a minute. But he heads up the World History Institute. He's also one of the executive directors behind the movie that came out a little while ago called Monumental. And he works a lot with Kirk Cameron and was part of that recent live television, or actually live movie showing that we had in theaters for a couple of days. And that's our good friend, Dr. Marshall Foster. Marshall, you're looking great, man.
Perry, it's good to be with you.
How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great.
I like your new look. I need a hat like that.
Listen, I picked it up in Scotland several years ago, and I can't take it off. I just gave a tour of Europe, and I came back, and all the people on my tour had the same hat. So I don't know what it is, but you see these all over the country, you know that we're in trouble.
Oh, there you go. Well, no, it's a revolution we need, I'll tell you that. Well, listen, you do tour.
What's under the hat?
Oh, there you go. You do the Christian History Tour of the United States, where you start out at Plymouth Rock, you end up clear down in Yorktown, and of course you do the European Christian History Tour. And I know people that've been on those, and they tell me it's just flat life-changing.
It really is. And in fact, we're doing another one next spring. It's called the Monumental Tour. And I'm starting out at the monument in Plymouth and going south to Virginia. So that's next April. If anybody wants to go, just go to the World History Institute and they can check it out.
All right. Monumental was an incredible success movie, and also Kurt's last evening at the movie was quite successful. Something's going on there. What's happening with all of that, Marshall?
Well, there's a great hunger for truth out there, Perry. And you've known it for years, I've known it, but we really haven't had the vehicle to get the message out because everybody's glued to the fat screen, the fat screen and the flat screen, and they're glued to this. Yeah. And so if you're not reaching the flat screens, you're not reaching. And so it's through radio and television that we can do that. But there hasn't been a lot of content in depth upon America's Christian heritage or upon the truth of what God has done and how God can encourage his people. And I think there's been a lot of discouragement out there. And when the truth gets out, I see it everywhere I go, that people get excited, enthusiastic, and they want to get involved in taking the gospel of Christ to their country or to their city. And things begin to change. You know, as things even become more chaotic, I'm beginning to sense a righteous pushback that seems to be fairly healthy. Do you see that across the country, Marshall? Oh yes, I think there's a wake-up call that you can only push me so far here, and finally I wake up and realize I'll have no religious liberty, I will have no freedom, and there will be no traditional values if I don't stand now. And so I think there is that, but there's not. It's still a little bit contentless because a lot of people simply have not studied the facts and studied the history and studied the law. So it's an emotional reaction more than anything on the part of many people, but that's changing because more and more people are learning and growing, and there's this huge movement of the Christian school movement, the homeschool movement, and Christian young people coming up under the age of 30 that are saying, you know, heck no, we will not go into secular humanism. Oh, that's wonderful. Your latest newsletter, boy, was powerful. It's entitled Islam and Christianity, and then you say, the only hope for peace. Give us a synopsis of that newsletter, because, man, I found that to really be riveting. Yes. Well, the story is, for 1,400 years, Islam has been out to destroy Christianity. That's been its major goal. And we go through battle after battle, century after century, through the Ottoman Empire, hundreds of thousands of troops. They came within an inch, if it wasn't for divine providence, of destroying all of Christendom and breaking down all the cathedrals for a period of 1,400 years, as I said. Once you learn that history, then it puts the 21st century in a whole different light, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. And so this is nothing new. It's been going on forever. But John Calvin, I think, made a good statement 500 years ago when his own Germany and Switzerland was being under attack and the Muslims were coming to destroy all freedom there. He said, until we have the love for the Muslim people to reach them with the gospel, they shall forever be our plague. And I think that's it. We have to have that, and it's beginning to happen. Millions. It was recorded in Al Jazeera, their own news source came out and said last year that 6 million just in the Middle East were converted to Christ, and how sad that was, and how that's terrible. No, that's their very hope of liberty, very hope of freedom, and it's spreading. It's coming from different directions. The Chinese have a plan called the Back to Jerusalem plan, which is excellent, and they're moving all the way. They're going to go through Afghanistan, Iran, and all the way back to Jerusalem with 250,000 trained Chinese missionaries to reach the Muslim world. And they're working that plan right now. Indonesia is seeing a revival of Christianity. It's the largest Muslim nation in the world. So God is at work to reach people no matter what their religious background. Typical American worships a granite countertop, right? And so it doesn't matter what your religion is. You need Jesus.
No question.
You need faith in him.
No question about that. And I just find it unbelievable. I was talking to Joe Rosenberg the other day how Muslims are waking up with dreams and visions of Christ.
Yes. Why should that surprise us? There is only one true God, and everything else is the creation of man. Dead pieces of rock that die over time. And so people's conscience is being touched, and that's where revival comes from. God invades the conscience of a nation. The people fall to their knees or fall to their face, repent, turn back to the true God. And when they do, that's where liberty and justice and freedom and free enterprise and private property and monogamy, all these things that we desire but can't get through the political process, we can have if we as a people will turn back to the love of God and allow him to change our lives.
All right, Marshall, so how can people get on your mailing list to get your journal that comes out? Because it's powerful.
Well, just go to worldhistoryinstitute.org or .com and just go in there, and it shows you a place. You can get it by email, or you can get it. You can have it. I'll give you on paper if you want. Each month we send it out either way, email or in paper. And it's a great little journal. We're expanding all of that. The Institute is expanding worldwide to have a ministry to other nations throughout the world, both in Europe and Asia, and then eventually in South America, to report to the Christian world the great revival that's taking place. And that's one of our goals, is to get, I think our goal is summarized in Psalm 107. It says it 5 times. It says, "Oh, that men would give thanks to the Lord for his goodness and for his wonderful works to the children of men." We want people to give thanks to God for his wonderful works. He is the one it's his world, and he wants to make it a better place for you and your family. He wants to bring liberty. He does bring liberty wherever his gospel goes, and that story needs to get into the hearts of the people.
All right, that's called worldhistoryinstitute.org or .com, and let me encourage you to go there, sign up for it, download it, support Marshall. Well, Marshall, I got to let you go, but what can you say to those watching today to support the Dove?
Oh, let me tell you, you and I have been friends for almost 30 years. We have seen America go in the wrong direction in many ways. And yet, of all the men I've ever met, and I say this to you, Perry, not because I'm flattering you, because I think you are one of the stalwart Christian leaders in America. You have stood for Christ when few others have. And your Dove is a beacon of truth and light with grace out to the American people and beyond now on the internet and through the television. So I just want to tell your people that are there, the people that are watching the Dove or listening, they need to support you. They need to support you in a major way, because the way that America is going to be reached is through a man like Perry with a with a heart and a vision tied together with the technology to be able to get his message out. And you have that message, you have that heart. It is your time. It is the time to get that message out to America. So please, Dove audience, support the Dove and do it even today.
All right. Thank you, my friend. Love you, brother.
Love you too.
You got to come up and catch salmon. They're starting to run again.
Oh, you just call me. I'm there.
Okay, see ya. All right. Marshall Foster with the World History Institute, worldhistoryinstitute.com or .org. Go there, download his journal, read it, share it with your friends, support him, okay? We'll take a quick break. Our phone number, 776-5368. We'll be right back.
You can call the Dove right now at 541-776-5368 or make a secure online donation at our website at thedove.us. Again, the phone number is 541-776-5368. Thanks for your support.